We will start off this Tuesday morning with a live look from our Savannah camp out over Tybee Island. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsley decided to spend some time outside this morning in Taylor Square with a look at our forecast first, and that's because it's not too bad. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning, Kim. You have to take full advantage of a somewhat cooler than average day while it lasts, because we don't get too many of them in the summer, especially after the last week and a half of tracking that sizzling heat. We do have that current temperature at 81 degrees. Our feel like temperature though right now sitting in the mid 80s. There is a noticeable change outside. It is a little bit cooler out here, though of course we're still tracking just a little bit of the stickiness as we have been watching this moisture all morning long, that stalled front draped across the coastal empire and low country. So because we have that stalled front around, we're still going to be tracking a slightly muggy day, just not what we saw late last week. And we'll also watch for those rain showers and thunderstorms to continue to pick up. Watching for those scattered storms later on this afternoon and evening. Pockets of soaking rain will also be possible at times, and because we've already picked up a decent amount of rain over the last 2 days, we're still looking at the possibility of a localized flooding, ponding on the roadway as well over the next couple of hours. Just keep that in mind throughout the rest of our Tuesday. So coming up in the complete Storm Team 3 forecast, we will talk about how temperatures begin to heat up by the end of the week.
Thank you, Alyssa. Topping our news this morning, tensions are rising overseas as any semblance of a ceasefire between the United States and Iran now appears to be all but gone. The U.S. launched strikes on Iran, that is, hours after President Trump vowed to reinstate an American blockade of Iranian ports and charge ships for safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran responded with attacks of its own on Middle East allies of the United States. An interim deal meant to pause the fighting, reopen the strait, and give negotiators time to hammer out a permanent end to the war remains in extreme doubt. Officials say unless a diplomatic solution is found quickly, it could intensify into an all-out war. Back here at home, federal authorities are taking over an investigation tied to a deadly private plane crash in Candler County. One person died after the aircraft came down yesterday morning in the woods near Sycamore Street in the Coleman Estates mobile home park near Metter. Several local agencies also responded to the crash. The National Transportation Safety Board has confirmed to WSAV that this aircraft was a Beech 95 B-55 and took off from Metter Municipal Airport. Candler County Sheriff John Miles offered few details but did describe what he saw when he arrived on scene.
It was a plane crash that had burned. It looked like a private plane that had crashed in the woods and had significant fire damage.
Now, it isn't clear just yet if anyone else was on board that plane or what may have caused the crash. Of course, we'll continue following this story for you and provide any updates both on air and online. Well, if your travels take you along interstates and major highways, you may notice more blue lights this week. Law enforcement agencies in Georgia and South Carolina are teaming up with fellow departments in Alabama, Florida, and Tennessee for Operation Southern Slowdown. The week-long effort aims to help crack down on both speeding and aggressive driving.
When you go over the speed limit, it depends 5, 10, 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, it just makes it that much harder to slow down, that much harder to react to a situation that might happen in front of you.
The safety campaign officially runs through Sunday, but law enforcement encourages you to follow the rules of the road year-round. They also urge everyone to buckle up, noting that more than half of people killed in vehicle crashes are not wearing a seatbelt. Making headlines this morning, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham is set to be sworn in later today and will serve the remainder of his Senate term. Graham died suddenly Saturday night following an aortic dissection, as Washington correspondent Kristen Eskow explains. Although Darlene Graham has never served in public office, she'd been a frequent presence at Graham's political events and shared a close bond with her brother, which President Donald Trump pointed out when calling for her appointment.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has appointed Darlene Graham to finish her late brother's Senate term, which ends in January.
Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him.
Darlene Graham shared a close relationship with her older brother. Lindsey Graham became his sister's legal guardian after losing both of their parents just over a year apart.
To Lindsay, I miss you more than I can even put into words. But I'm going to do this. I got it.
President Trump had championed the appointment following Graham's sudden death. He paid tribute to the late senator in the Oval Office Monday.
He was a friend of all of us. He was a great guy. He was a great politician, actually. And it's hard to believe he's gone.
Graham's desk on the Senate floor now draped in a black shroud and topped with white roses.
The halls of the Senate already feel empty without him.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune became emotional as he remembered his friend.
We will laugh together again.
Tributes coming from both sides of the aisle, noting Graham's efforts at bipartisanship.
Lindsey, for many years, was the only Republican willing to co-sponsor the DREAM Act, a bill that I introduced over 20 years ago. I will never, ever forget it.
That was Kristen Eskow reporting. Since Senator Graham was running for re-election this year, the South Carolina GOP will need to select a new nominee. A special primary election has been scheduled for Tuesday, August 11th. Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama says a member of Senator Graham's staff was the one who called 911. He says one of his staffers was with Senator Graham's scheduler when she received a call from Graham saying that he was experiencing chest pains. Happening now, WSAV is partnering with Ready, Set, Go Back to School for the 18th annual initiative that helps ensure that local children are fully prepared when they return to the classroom next month. Our fourth collection event of the season is now underway at the Victory Square Shopping Center, just down the way from our studios. That's where we find WSAV's Jillian Coles. She joins us now live with more on how you can help make this campaign a big success. Jillian, good morning.
Good morning, Kim. Yes, we are here on our fourth stop of our school supply drive supporting Ready, Set, Go Back to School. We're here on Victory Square where shoppers going into the Target right there, the Dollar Tree here, the Staples, they can come, stop by our tent and drop off donations right here on Savannah's east side. But let's take a look at some of those donations we're asking you to consider making. We have composition books, dry erase markers, colored pencils, crayons, glue sticks, folders, highlighters, Kleenex, deodorant, toothpaste, lotion, hand wipes, all of that good stuff. But you'll find a complete list at wsav.com/back-to-school, or you can stop by, pick up one of our shopping lists right here on Savannah's east side today. You know, we had a great day on Monday at the Polar Walmart. We filled up 3 of these bins of donations, and we had one very kind lady. She brought a bulk of donation items. But you know, all of these donations are going to be given out at our Ready, Set, Go Back to School Party in the Park. That's going to be this Sunday. It's going to be July 19th from 2 to 5 p.m. in Can Park. That is Stephen Street and 45th Avenue in Savannah. But we will continue previewing this event throughout the rest of the broadcast today. But right now, live in Savannah, I'm Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Last year's party was incredible. Don't forget, fill those boxes. Thank you, Jillian. We'll check back in with you in just a bit. In the meantime, you can find a full list of items that are needed for this year's campaign on our website at wsav.com/back-to-school.